Hey Universal Coworkers, it's your girl V, teller of tales, and you're tuning into I Hate Work, the podcast where I rant about every wild job I've ever had. From drunk managers, failed drug tests, personal drama, and coworkers who turn into family, I've experienced the most. So call out, grab a cup, because you do not want to miss this piping hot tea, and go down this journey with me. This is where I discovered where writing was the only job meant for me. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to I Hate Work, my rant on all the jobs I've ever had. And I know you are wondering, V, why would anybody care about the jobs you've worked? Because I've worked for over 30 companies, and I feel like work has really put a lot of stress and strain on my life. And then someone said you should go to therapy. I don't believe in therapy. I do not believe in sitting in someone's office crying about life and then expecting them to show me through a path that they've never walked. So here I am, just letting it all out right here, sharing it with the world. Maybe it was me who caused all these problems. Maybe it was my fault I got fired. Did I really fail those drug tests? I don't know why I'm laughing because some of this is not even funny, but come on this journey with me. Let's go through these jobs and see, was it me? Was I the problem? Or was I just never really meant to work in corporate America? I don't know. We've got 30 different jobs to go through, and so we'll see who was at fault here. Let's get into it. So, first and foremost, let me start by saying I don't hate work. I hate the way work is structured, okay? I'm a Capricorn, not a Pisces. And Capricorns are the very definition of hard work, diplomatic. We are the true goats. We're the go getters. I did not say this myself. If you Google it, that's exactly what it says. So I didn't toot my horn. It's the umbrella I was born under. But let's get into this because none of these episodes are going to be a motivational speech. I mean, only thing I'm probably going to tell you is to call out, quit that job, tell your boss to do the work themselves. Because honestly, in today's society, who's lining up to go work at these jobs? I'm telling you now, nobody's lining up to take my job today. They can have it. I want to talk about all the stuff in jobs that just make me want to take my wig off, throw it across the street, stump on my boss's desk, and walk away calmly. I mean, what is a 30-minute lunch? By the time you clock out, get your food, sit down to eat it, you're 5 minutes late back to the floor. What is a 10-minute break? What is a 15-minute break? No, I'm ready to march for this, guys. Lunches should be an hour and 30 minutes. We should get a paid 30-minute break. Okay? And we should just be able to call off whenever we need to because that is how life is. My child did not tell me 5 days ago, like, hey, mom, I'm going to throw up in your car on the way to work. So let your job know. Give them a 2-hour notice. What are you talking about? I got sick on my way to work. When I pulled up and saw the doors, I got sick. I can't call you 2 hours and give you a 2-hour notice, okay? It's impossible. I don't know who these corporations think they are. And then they want to try to replace us with AI and robots and self-checkouts. Be my guest. What the heck is an evaluation? Oh, you're going to get paid more after we evaluate you. Why don't I evaluate you? Don't you see, it all just makes me so upset. I can just go on and on and on about everything I hate about work, and I know you agree with me. This is the therapy part. Let's all just take a deep breath right now. It's okay that we hate work. Okay, guys, so let's get into the real reason we are here, because I want to talk about every single job I have ever worked. This may be therapeutic for you too, but it's very therapeutic for me. And some of these jobs I probably shouldn't even bring up or say, but I want to get into it. So today's episode is Sears, my very first job ever. So let's do a little backstory here. The scene is set in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the oldest of 5 kids. We're always constantly moving. My mom was a single mom. My grandparents like helped whenever they could, but that was pretty much it. So, 6th through 8th grade, I was in and out of my grandparents' house living with them. Ninth grade's about to start. I really want to go to Durango High School with all my friends that I have been going to school with at Grant Sawyer Middle School. Hey, Mustangs. I still got some of you in my friends. But, anyways, I really wanted to go to Durango High School. So I moved in with my uncle, my mom's younger brother. He has a wife and 3 kids, and his daughter is the same age as me. We've been like this since we were 3. Well, no, like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know. She's been around for as long as I can remember. So I wanted to go to high school with all my friends because moving in the 9th grade, that's social suicide. Who the hell was I going to meet and hang out with? So I'm in 9th grade. Everything's going good, but something happens, and my uncle's wife makes me go back to live with my mom. So I leave, go live with my mom. She has this best friend whose son kind of looks like a little miniature Joey Fatone with the red hair. Oh, I was so smitten. His parents never made him go to school. My mom worked the night shift, so me and little reject Joey Fatone just hung out all the freaking time. Never ever went to school. I failed 9th grade. So I told my uncle, like, hey, can I please come back and live with you? His wife was not happy about it. And let me tell you something, cousin. If you start watching these, this is my story, okay? This is my story. So you can defend your mom another time, okay? And I'm not saying anything bad about it. I put up with as much as she had put up when it comes to me, anyways, which we'll discuss and talk about in later episodes. So, 10th grade is about to start, and his wife lets me know, just because we're giving you a room and we're letting you stay here again, we're not supporting you financially. Got it. Okay. Heard. Understood. Grandpa said, hey, I got a friend whose wife is the manager at Sears. I'm 15. I'll be 16 in January. So he makes the call. She tells me to fill out the application online. Grandpa helps me. We fill it out. 2 days later, I get the call. I'm hired. No interview at all. And that's another thing that I hate about companies that hire friends, because there probably was somebody more qualified to work there, but I got the job because of a friend. I don't really have those kind of problems until later in life, like people's friends. I have those problems today in the working place where friends get a job, they can't hold a candle to me. And I'm not saying that on like my Capricorn high or tooting my own horn, but I know my value and I know what I bring to the workplace. And when I have to work with a coworker who didn't even pass 4th grade because that's the type of intelligence they're displaying, I get pissed off. I really do. But anyways, look at me ranting, ranting, ranting. Let's get back to Sears. Okay. So it's the first day of school, first day of 10th grade. Everyone else is talking about what they're going to do this weekend, pep rallies, getting ready for homecoming, just fun teenage stuff. I'm a little stressed because I have to get on the bus after school and I have to go take my first ever drug test and fingerprints to go work at Sears. It's funny because my friends were making fun of me, saying, oh, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. And I just laughed along, but joke was on them. So my friends don't know this, but now they will. I was that girl at the party who pretend to hit the blunt. I pretended to take that pill. I pretended to take that shot. I killed so many of your parents' plants because I was just like right into your mom's plants, right into them. Stuff that pill right down them little dandelions. I wasn't about that life yet. I do get about that life later on in life, but today I wasn't about that life. So I just kikied, laughed at myself and my friends. I was going to be fine. I was going to pass the drug test. After school, I go to the bus stop and okay, we're in Durango 2001, 2002. There's nothing up there but the school, desert, and a couple of stores. Well, the bus was right outside the school, but to get home, oh, it was hell. It was the worst ever. But I get on the bus. I go to the downtown to where they told me I needed to go, get my fingerprints done, and I get a hair. They did a hair test, so they cut piece of my hair. I had braids, so I was like, go ahead, take that piece off. I don't care. So knocked that out, got the bus, went back home. And when I think about it, I'm like, I'm 15 years old. What the heck am I doing? My daughter's going to be 15 in December, and I can't even imagine letting her go take a bus downtown to get fingerprints and a drug test. But that was what I had to deal with at that time. So I get a call. So that was Monday. I get a call Wednesday. You pass. You can come to orientation Friday. Okay. So Friday after school, I get on the bus. Now I get hired at the Sears at the Boulevard Mall. If you know the Boulevard Mall, it was popping 20 years ago. That place is trash now. It might as well be a big old garage sale at this point. So from Durango, take the bus to Maryland Parkway. Oh, all the homeless people on the buses. But anyways, go there. They tell me I need khaki pants. I'm 15. Nobody wears khaki pants for fun. So my gran has to go to Target, get me some khaki pants so that I can start orientation. The manager, I can't remember her name, but she was nice. I can't say anything bad about her. She's an older lady. She takes me down into a classroom with a computer and she goes, "This is your training. You're going to do these modules. They take 4 days to complete." I'm 15 years old. I tie up my granny's phone line all day on AOL. And then when my uncle goes to bed, I play Sims all night long. I knock those modules out in 4 hours. It's video games. What are you talking about? She goes, "Great, you can start a full day tomorrow." And I'm like, oh, why do I have to be so amazing? So that's the Capricorn talking. But I was literally annoyed because it's Friday. There's a party tonight. I go to the party. Still get up in the morning so that I can get from Durango back to Maryland Parkway by 8 a.m. This was the first time I ever learned about being late. Okay? You can't use a letter from your mom. You can't say, "Oh, I wasn't, the bus was running late." Doesn't matter. Work doesn't care about why you were late. I get there and she says, "Didn't you read the point system when you were doing the modules? You sat a 15-year-old in front of a computer and you thought I was retaining that knowledge? No." So you get half a point for being late. If you're going to be late, you need to call the hotline and report. You're just going to get all these points. So half a point if you're late, a point for not calling in. You get 2 to 3 points for no call, no shows. Basically, if you get 10 points, you're fired. Oh no. I don't want to be fired. Don't fire me. I'm 15. I was late all the freaking time. It happened all the time. Give me all the points you want. I didn't care. It's just I didn't have any control over getting out of school and getting all the way to Maryland Parkway on my own. My granny took me sometimes. You have to have clear purses. That was my first time ever having to deal with that. So I could not, they were not happy that I had a backpack, but I'm 15, lady. I'm coming from school. Gotta have my backpack. So I put my stuff away. My new department is toys, tools, and barbecue grills. I couldn't tell you what a screwdriver was, what a nails. I don't think I ever hit a nail with a hammer. What's a flat? Barbecue grills? Lady, I make hot dogs in the pot and noodles. Okay, I can sell these things. I'm 15, so okay, the toys is fine. I can be in the toy section, but the rest, that was crazy. My trainee that I needed to shadow for the week was about 100 years old. She had been with Target, not Target. I worked for Target and I'm ready to already rant about them. She had worked for Sears. We're going to get to you, Target. Don't you worry. Anyways, she had worked for Sears for 45. She had been there forever. Okay. She had just been there forever. And I eventually learned to love her. Like she became my little old lady friend. Tiny little old Filipino lady. Talked 100 miles a minute, but she always fed me and made sure I was having a good day at work and was always willing to help me. So my first day on the job, chaos. Okay. Um, It was the credit cards. You couldn't swipe credit cards then. It was the Xerox thing. Like in Home Alone 2 when Kevin had checked into the hotel. Every time I Xerox, I said, "Wow, it worked." Cuz I'm a kid, so I kept playing like it's so stupid. But I was playing with the credit card Xerox thing. And my trainee, she's like, you're using all the paper. Stop messing up the paper. But I was like, chirp, 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 chirp. So fun. We took checks back then. So you put in how much they have to write the check for the exact amount, and you put it in the receipt thing, and it prints the codes. Yeah, if you were shopping at Sears at the Boulevard Mall in 2001, 2002, you probably got a lot of free clothes. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Because those checks and those people with the coupons. You keep it in your wallet and the barcode starts to fade. And I have to type in 1,800,000 numbers so that you can get 20 cents off of a stupid t shirt. I don't like you. It's ridiculous. So, what was the pay? I don't find out until my first paycheck because I was 15. All I knew was I was going to get a paycheck. I never even asked. Yeah, I don't know. So I've been messing up that whole 8-hour shift, messed up. It is what it is, but that Capricorn energy was kicking in. Like, give me a task and I'm going to make sure I master it. So the next day on Sunday, I was doing better. And by the end of my shift on Sunday, I was like Tim the Toolman Taylor. Well, a little bit down the line, but I was gonna get those. I mastered the tools eventually. Not so much the barbecue grills. You want to buy it or what, bro? You getting this or what, dude? I could care less. So, what was my Sears experience? I feel like school failed me here, okay? Because no one prepared me that the customer is always right, that Karen and Susan and Debbie can just come in on a Saturday morning and yell at me, and I'm supposed to just nod my head and say, "Yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Let me see what I can do for you." And I didn't like it. It was just so weird because if a teacher bucks up at you, I mean, you shouldn't do it, but you buck right back at the teacher and then you threaten them with your parents. I couldn't tell the customer, talk to me like that again. My mama's going to come up here. You can't say that. I never did, but I would think it like, yeah, you must always look busy. Now, everyone knows in the retail world, you have a lot of downtime, and that look busy culture, I hate it. I hate whoever said, if you're bored with nothing to do, find something to do. I would be in that register, like in that little circle, because department stores, you got the big circle registers. I'd be over there looking like the cook from Pleasantville. How, when Toby Maguire's character forgot to show up on time for work, so he just kept wiping the same spot. That's retail. That was me at 15 trying to figure out how to look busy. So I just kept wiping the counters, wiping the register, restocking, like moving the receipt tape around to, because you had to look busy. Run over to the table, grab a stack of shirts, refold it, refold a stack of jeans. Just nonsense. Well, get 5 credit cards signed up a day. I pushed them and I would get them. You're going to save 10% today. And if you have good credit, you're really not even going to pay anything today because it's going to all go on your credit card. Like 5 people got approved in the entire time I was working there, okay? But I pushed them. I did what was asked of me, okay? I did it. One of the things that I really hated about Sears was the men coming in. Again, you have to remember I'm 15 years old, okay? I look like a little black Barbie over there. And wife run off to the shoe section to go find some new ugly flats. Kids are left over in the toy section to ruin my end caps. That's when you work in retail, that really makes you mad, okay? I just fixed those end caps. But then you got pervy dad over here just asking about my personal life. Like, oh, you're so beautiful, brushing up against me, groping me. And it's like, homie, go get your kids and get your wife and go to the food court. Go do something else. And I would tell the manager, I had told her one time, say, hey, that man over there, he just like touched my butt. And she goes, are you sure about that? I don't think that's, maybe he was like patting you to say, thank you for your help. No, lady. And it's even worse. The security guard at that time was like this big old black buff dude, and he didn't do anything ever to anybody. Christmas time was kind of the worst because it's rush hours, so many people there. I once had a man follow me through the whole entire store. Whole store, just a creepy man. I can still see his face. Like it's ingrained in my brain because he really scared me, but there was nothing that the Sears managers were going to do about any of that because he spent a lot of money and we're there for the customers. We're not there for me to be comfortable, to do a job, and to sell this merchandise. So that's, as a 15-year-old, that's what I was picking up. That's what I was learning. It's not about me. You need to take this, you need to take what's happening, throw it out the window because you need to make the quotas and you need to get your credit cards in. So that's what I did. So here's one of those major things I hate about jobs, and I know they still do this today, that holding period. So you don't get paid basically for a month. You're working a whole entire month and they don't pay you with that first pay period. You got to wait until the next period. How is a human supposed to live? Back to Sears, okay, because they did this. They held the money for an entire month. So I had been working all of September, no paycheck. The money wasn't the stressful part because I had never gotten a paycheck before, so I really wasn't stressed about that. But getting there on time, giving up my weekends as a 15-year-old to go in. When I first got that first paycheck, I was like, yes, this is amazing. Everything finally made sense. Everything clicked into place, okay? Got the check in the mail. They don't give them to you at work. It came in the mail, so it went to my grandma's house. I was making $5.15 an hour. So amazing. My paycheck was about 289, 300. 15-year-old with $300. I was a rich bitch. I was so happy. I got on that bus after school, went to work, had the paycheck rolled up in my little khaki pants because I didn't want to leave it in my backpack. I was so happy. Couldn't wait for my 30-minute lunch. I ran across the street to one of the check cashing places to cash it. Remember, I'm 15. I've never been to the DMV. I don't have an ID. I use my ninth grade student ID to cash my check because we did not get the 10th grade student IDs. Doesn't matter. It was going to be a student ID anyways. Cash the check. Oh, I've got this money in my hands. I run back over to the mall. I've got about 10 minutes left on my break. Could care less. I go straight to Hot Topic. I buy a Vans wallet. I still have my Vans wallet in my little Harry Potter trunk chest. I need to dig through there and get out some trinkets. But I get the Vans wallet so that I have somewhere to put the money. And I buy a pair of shoes. And I go in the food court and I buy me a pizza. I'm late back. The point is worth it, okay? I have money. Well, this is a few days later. I go to Sprint. I start me a cell phone service. The flip. The flip phone. I get the pink one. So exciting. I set up the voicemail. The voicemail was Chingy Holiday Inn. I still hear my granny yelling at me because I recorded the part at the very beginning. It was, is it Snoop Dogg? He's like, you got some bomb. Like that was my voicemail. Granny was so pissed when she would call me. She, get that song off of there. They're not professional. Granny, like, call me after 9. What are you doing? You're taking my minutes. Text me tomorrow. It's 10 cents to read this text message. Like, stop it. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And as a teenager, I was like, wait a minute. Why am I going to school? You go to school to get grades so that you can eventually get a good job. I already had a good job in my brain. I'm living at my uncle's. His wife really doesn't want me there. My mom has no idea what's going on in my life. Granny and grandpa are sleeping good because I'm at my uncle's. Nobody's watching 15-year-old V. I start ditching school to work extra shifts at Sears. So remember, I had already failed ninth grade because I was living with my mom. I had went to 3 different schools in ninth grade. I got no credits. Now I'm in 10th. I was doing good. Money just took over. I needed to make more money. So I was ditching. And my cousin wasn't going to tell on me because she was out doing her little thing. That's a story to tell, but I wasn't going to tell on her. She wasn't going to tell on me. So I was not going to class anymore. I knew how to sign my mom's signature. She does her R real special. And I'm a Capricorn, not a Leo. So I'm going to learn how to do that special R. And I got it down packed. And so I started writing letters again. I say again because 6th to 8th grade, when I was living with Grandma and Grandpa, me and my little besties, all my little white girlfriends, we used to ditch from time to time. We wasn't doing nothing bad. We just didn't go sometimes. And I learned my mom's signature then. One day, the dean called me in the office, and my mom was sitting there. And I was like, hey, Mom, what you doing here? Like, today a special day. Where we going? They put the whole stack of letters on the table. Like, what are these? And she's looking at her R like, how'd you do it? I'm telling you, her R is something special, but I got it. So yeah, it's 2 people in the world who can make that R now. So yeah, I had been writing letters to get out of 10th grade so that I can go work at Sears every day. So Christmas season comes around. We're on Christmas break from school, working every single shift that I can. Grandpa started helping me get there because the store would open earlier during the holidays. I want to say like 7 maybe. I know on Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas was like I had to be at work at 6 a.m. It was insane. So during the holiday season, Grandpa started helping me. So I wasn't out there So I said, going from Durango to Maryland, in on Durango, there was nothing. It was 30-minute walk home through the desert. And no, it's literally the desert. It's just rocks, trees, cactuses, tarantulas, snake holes. I had to walk through the desert to get home every single night and walk through it to get to the bus. My cousin had to do it. My auntie was like, no, me and your uncle, you guys are big kids now, because my cousins had to do it too. Like I said, there was three of them. She made us all walk. She could have came and picked us up or gave us a ride. She just never did. So there's nothing but the desert, the houses, and the 7-Eleven. I did that a lot for a few years. But anywho, I'm working every single shift. Christmas, don't care about the creepy men anymore. I didn't know at the time, but I was learning to live with being sexually harassed at work every day. It was fine as long as he bought the tools, the grill, a couple of Barbies, and some Hot Wheels. I'm taking it for the company so that they meet their quotas. Once school starts back, my counselor says, "Hey, Vernice, you're failing. What's going on? Why have you been missing so much school?" And I said, Haven't you been reading the letters my mom's writing to excuse me? There's lots of family stuff going on. I can't be here. I can't I can't make it. They send a letter home to uncle. Okay? He finds out, he pulls me aside. Shiki, that's what my family calls me. They don't call me Veronice, they don't call me V. They call me by my government middle name. And when they do that, it's serious, okay? It's very serious. He's like, Shiki, what's going on? How are you missing this many days? I don't lie to my uncle. I ain't been going. I've been going to go work at Target so I can make all the money possible. You see how life is with my mom, and I need to afford life. I gotta afford my cell phone bill. I gotta buy my NSYNC posters. I need my NSYNC stuff. Okay. I need my Vans, my Etnies. I need my band t-shirts. I need my stuff. So uncle said, no more. You got to go back down to just the weekends. So I started only working the weekends again, but I wasn't making enough money. I had already been calling out a lot because as a teenager, you get paid. And you know this from retail if you've ever worked in there. Paydays, all kinds of call outs. Everybody's always calling out. So I would always call out payday week because I was going out to spend my money. And I had my mom call a few times for me, and the manager pulled me aside and she said, "Hey, Vernice, your mom can't call in for you. You are an adult now." I had turned 16. She said, "You're an adult now. This is your responsibility." And it was funny because I had one of them handwritten notes in my back pocket to give her. And she said, "No, your mom can't write a letter. This is not school." So that was the end of that jig. Just never need to do that again. Like, what? My mom can't write a note to get me out of work? That's insane. I tried that a lot. It's just working the weekends wasn't enough for me, and I could not make it all the way to the summer. And that is how it ended at Sears. I quit. I did not put in a 2-week notice. I didn't tell them because I didn't know what a 2-week notice was. I didn't know what I was supposed to do to sever ties in a good way with Sears. So I just stopped going. I really missed my little old lady Filipino friend. She was so kind to me. I don't remember her name. I see her face. She would ride at night. She would ride the bus with me as far as she could go to make sure I was going to get home safe. She would call me and say, "Hey, did you make it home?" She was just the sweetest, sweetest person. I wish I knew her name. But that is just the beginning of my career life. So, could I have seen a career with Sears? No. I was not taught how to deal with customers. I was taught to just accept it. A computer module trained me how to work at Sears, and then everything else I just had to you either sink or swim, okay? And I'm a Capricorn, not a Sagittarius. So I learned to swim in the deep end. Not very well, but I survived. I didn't die. I did not learn what a W-2 was because I just filled out whatever they said, sign here, sign here, sign here. Although my grand and my uncle did all that they could for me, I still did not have firm guidance in my life and structure to say, hey, you're going the wrong way. Because again, even though my uncle was trying, he still had 3 other kids that he had to take care of, and he couldn't spend all his time on me. I blame school for not teaching me how to maintain a bank account, that I needed a bank account, that I needed to go to the DMV, what a W-2 was, what benefits were, what medical was. I feel like those should be classes. The fundamentals of life should be what is taught in school instead of, opposites attract with 2 magnets. Because that doesn't teach me anything. I meet a man and I feel that opposite. I feel I'm not supposed to be with him, but I'm going to pull him in anyways. And later stories. But we all do that. We go towards something that is not meant for us anyways and force it together. So tell me, listeners, what was your first job and what was your experience like? Were you a teenage worker? Did your parents allow you to do work in school? Was it an internship? I know a lot of people whose first jobs were internships. I don't think I would have lasted working for no money. But I guess internships are good too because you eventually end up with a good job. But no, I couldn't have done that. Was that first job a learning experience? Because I can tell you now, I have 29 more jobs to talk about. It was an experience, all right. So that's it for episode 1 of I Hate Work. Sears basically laid the foundation down for me that when you take a job, you just accept what you are given and you accept the environment inside of that facility. And that is what I took with me from Sears. And it just built this really bad, let's say I'm building my own corporation here of all these employers that I have worked for. So the next episode, we'll dive into my second job ever. I'm still a teenager. I'm failing school. I need help. What do I do? And how did I land a job in a neighborhood full of Bloods, Crips, and Gerson Park Kings who literally threatened to beat me up every other day, but I loved it. So thanks for listening to I Hate Work. Remember, you can call out if you want to. You can take longer lunches if you want to. And keep your managers out of your business. Until next time, it's okay to say you hate work.